to a $150,000 grant opportunity, actually the Zoom solopreneur grant. I want to go over like just the quick questions that they ask. And also I'm doing this live stream really quick. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time to offer a Q&A session for anyone who has been applying to grants this week. If you have any questions, concerns, or curiosities about small business grants, of course, if this is your first time here, I want to say thank you so much for being here, friend. I'm going to tell you what a grant is, of course, and where I find them. We'll go over these questions for this $150,000 grant, and any questions that you guys might have, I want you to drop it in the chat, okay? So we're not going to be on live for a long time. I'm not going to take up much of your time, which means that I need for you to drop your grant questions right now. A small business grant, it's literally free money that you can get to be able to start and scale your business. Now, no matter what business type or business industry you are interested in, there will always be free money that you can actually go for. The federal government gives out this free grant money. Other business entities like Amazon, Walmart, right? These big businesses, they actually give out grants as well. And then you have some other foundations and private investors that give out small business grants. I myself, I've won millions of dollars in grants. I'm a 71% successful grant writer. And also I've been writing and winning grants for 11 years. Okay. So I'm currently in West Africa. I travel the world talking about small business grants and introducing small business grants to you guys. Okay. So small business grants is not to be taken with a grain of salt. It's actually a funding opportunity that you should also take advantage of. And you're actually not wasting your time when you're applying to the grant. Even if you don't win the grand prize, let's say of $150,000, like this grant I'm applying to right now, there's other perks and deals that come alongside with just simply submitting the application. Sometimes you can get free coaching and consulting. You can get free media press, so that helps out with marketing. You can also be able to get a free a ticket to like a free networking event, which allows you to speak to other funders and investors who want to fund your idea. So applying to a small business grant is actually not a waste of your time. Now, small business grants are a 50-50 chance at winning. It is a reward that you have to earn. So you must like literally submit your answers and submit the application in its entirety to make sure that you have a really great chance at winning a small business grant. So 100% full transparency here. I want you to know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you're going for small business grants. Most businesses who actually go for grants, they actually hire a grant writer on their team to like apply to grants for them consistently, like every day, all day. But then you have some of you guys who are startups and small business owners who are looking for those funding opportunities like grants. You don't want to go for loans. You don't want to go for lines of credit or credit cards. You don't want to continue to put yourself in more personal debt or even start your business out in debt. So you are actually interested in going for small business grants. You've been applying to them, but you have not had an experience in winning. Well, there's two reasons for why you possibly did not win a grant yet, friend. One reason could be you are not choosing high probability grants. High probability grants is grants that you choose that will give you a higher chance at potentially winning. How do you know that you have a grant right in front of you that will give you a higher chance at potentially winning? One of the key factors to know if the grant that you're looking at is a high probability grant is actually taking a look at the actual grant's mission. So the grant mission on the grant introductory page will actually tell you what the entire grant program is for. I'll give you an example. One example could be, we are giving out $100,000 to all entrepreneurs who are in the fashion industry and who have been in the fashion industry for the last at least 2 years and have, part-time and full-time employees. Our purpose for giving this grant out is because we want to be able to continue to help you scale your pieces or your fashion brand. So in that grant mission, that lets you know, and also it gives you enough information to let you know if you qualify or if you should actually apply to that grant. Also, on the grant introductory page, it tells you the qualifications for that particular grant. It reassures you and lets you know if you are supposed to, be based in the United States. If you are supposed to be only for a woman entrepreneur or a Black entrepreneur, lets you know how long you need to be in business. It also sometimes tells you exactly what you need to have before you go to apply to the grant. Now, another key thing is that you guys are going for grant opportunities, but you actually are not properly prepared for it. To best help you prepare for the small business grant that you're looking to apply to, go through the application first. If it allows you to go through it first, friend. That way you can reassure yourself if you need a business plan, executive summary, bank statements, if you need to upload your, like if you need to have a website, right? Also, if you need to have like so many other things, a pitch video. So you need to go through the actual grant application first to reassure yourself on the specifics that you need to have before actually applying to the grant. Also, it's very important that you take a look and read the actual grant questions. So that way you can prepare the answers first, make sure you have fine-tuned the answers first, and then you can go ahead and apply to that grant quickly. Okay. Now, last but not least, the reason why a lot of you guys are not winning grants is simply because, so high probability is one, not being prepared is two, and I would say, just thinking off the top of my head, why you guys are not winning grants is because you are going for a lot of like nationwide opportunities. What do I mean by that? Okay, so what I mean by that, friend, is the grants that you are going for, a lot of them are grants that you have found through Instagram, and there's nothing wrong with that. You found through like someone on social media that you trust. And these grant opportunities are nationwide. They are for all businesses that are based in the United States. You have a higher chance at winning grants that are state funded. This is a gem I'm dropping for you. When you go for state and local funded grants, your competition is much lesser than going for a grant that, let's say, is sponsored by Zoom or that's sponsored by Amazon. That is a nationwide opportunity for all businesses in all states. Well, on average, those particular grants get about 2,000, at least 2,000 application submissions. But when you're going for a state funded grant, those particular grants have lesser people applying to them, which increases your chances of approvals. Okay. So the grant type, you must always reassure yourself of exactly what that entire grant like mission is and align your business mission with that grant mission. Okay. If you have a business that is like, let's say, a medical business, so an adult daycare, you might have a clinic, you might have a home healthcare agency, whatever have you, right? This is an example. And you find a grant that is $200,000 that they're giving out for all medical based businesses that are located in your state, but they want you to, let's say they want you to be established for a certain amount of time, whatever have you, right? It's important for you to read, right? Follow up, go through that grant application thoroughly and reassure yourself if that grant is for you. Okay. Don't just apply to it because you see it's for medical businesses. That grant can be specific towards, okay, we have medical businesses, but we're actually looking to fund more of like clinics and urgent care centers. Okay. And how you would know that is going through the terms and conditions as well. If you don't see that information and how they judge you on the grant on the introductory page, it's okay. You can actually go through the grant's terms and conditions. Okay. All right. So something that I want to tell you guys as well. All right. Really quick. There is 7 questions. Remember the $150,000 grant that Zoom is giving out. If you guys don't know, Zoom is giving out a $150,000 grant opportunity right now to all solopreneurs. So that means you cannot be in partnership. They have 7 questions here. So I want to be able to go through the 7 questions. And then also I'm going to take your questions about small business grants and then we'll get out of here, right? I told you I'm not going to be here for long, friends. So just stick around. All right. So the first question asks, describe your business in 1 sentence. Everybody should have like an executive summary that directly says what your business does. All right. So this particular grant, I'm applying to it for an adult daycare. So I put the name of their business. So I said, this adult daycare provides comprehensive care for seniors, including nursing, social activities, transportation, and nutritious meals. That 1 sentence is just good enough. There's no buzzwords. It's just direct. We care for seniors, including nursing, social activities, transportation, and nutritious meals. So that's the first question is, describe your business in 1 sentence. 150,000 is on the line right now. What motivated you to start your business? So now they want to know your story. Remember yesterday and this week and majority of my live streams, I talked about how it's important for you to be compassionate about the business that you started and also to tell a story. They want to know what problem did you go through and how are you actually solving it with your particular with your particular business, right? In most cases, you guys are starting businesses that help solve problems that you have most likely went through. For my client here, she actually she's been working in this field for 16 years. So she's been like a nurse or a home health agency, home health care, a home health agent, sorry, for about 16 years. So she helps seniors, right? And so she has noticed that, since in her 16 years of line of business, that the cost for the quality of care has actually went up. She hears her patients, family members always complaining about the cost of care consistently. So she herself felt so bad and so compassionate, right, about helping those families and still being able to give that quality care, but she wants to give it at a affordable price for everyone, right? And so and she also wants to be able to provide jobs and stuff with people that share the same passion. So what motivated her to start it? I put, with my 16 years of experience, during my line of work, I have heard patients' concerns regarding economic challenges. Costs of care for their loved ones have skyrocketed. I would love to offer a affordable care option for the families who are experiencing financial hardships. I want to take off the hassle and pressure from the family members. I was born with a compassion for caring for others. This business allows me to share my gifts of providing quality, affordable care. You hear that answer? That answer sounds like it's so compassionate. Guess what? I did not use ChatGPT. I literally typed it out while we were just on a Zoom call about 15 minutes ago. so she saw that I'm not using ChatGPT. She just saw that I'm literally just typing it out as she told me, because I asked her, I said, what motivated you to start it? I applied to the grant. I applied to the grant while she was on there, but there was two questions that I needed her to help me answer that I didn't have on my Google form. Remember, you guys, I'm submitting grant applications for $37 each. So if that's something you're interested in, then you can always, text my number. I believe my number is somewhere in the chat. And I can put my number in the chat as well. You want to text hashtag Grantfully to my number, or you can just comment Grantfully, and then I can just put the link in there. Okay. This client, she paid $37 for me to submit this $150,000 grant for her. All right. So the third question is, how does your work stand out in your field? How does your work stand out in your field? Well, they want to know your originality, what makes you different, right? And a creative use of technology in a way. So I said, what differentiates me most is how we center both the the participant, sorry, so which is the patients. Sorry, something came up on my screen that's blocking me. How we center the participant and their family. We maintain regular communication with caregivers, provide updates, and collaborate on care decisions so families feel informed and supported, not disconnected from their loved ones on a daily experience. We also use technology in a simple but meaningful way. Virtual check-ins, digital care documentation, and video communication allows families to stay connected and engaged even during work hours. This transparency builds trust and reduces caregiver anxiety while improving. All right, so that is something she is planning to do as far as in implementing those technology, the simple way of doing technology. Okay, so yeah, sounds good. Cool. Moving forward, number 4. The fourth question asks, how have you measured success so far? Remember, I told you guys that these grant applications are going to ask, what is your traction? How are you measuring your success? I asked her in our Zoom call, I said, I asked her in a different way. So I didn't say, how are you measuring your success? But with me understanding that you are a startup and the physical brick and mortar is not open yet, how far have we actually came into our development process? She told me that she actually received donations from other foundations and persons that support her vision. She also told me that she's been doing word of mouth marketing, and and I gave her a strategy. I actually gave her, because I asked her, I said, so you've been doing word of mouth marketing. For those of you who have a business, she specifically has a business where she cannot market her business online via a website or social media, because she has to have a physical brick and mortar and go through the zonings and have a license first. This is in the state of Florida, of when you are actually opening up an adult daycare center or you are doing anything medical related. Okay, so this makes sense why she doesn't have a business website. It makes a lot of sense. Now, with that being said, I asked her, I said, well, since you've been talking about the business that you're developing and your grand opening, all of the stuff that you plan to do, and you've been doing word of mouth marketing, how are you keeping track of the people that you're talking to? She said, honestly, I'm not keeping track of the people I'm talking to. What? So I actually gave her a strategy, and I'll give it to you as well. If you have been doing word of mouth marketing and you are currently in your startup phases, you have not generated revenue, you're still opening up your business bank account, you're still at the beginning phases, but you're a startup because you already have your business registered. One strategy I can give you, and I'll give it to you for free because, my client actually, she paid for the consultation, but I'll give it to you for free, friend. Um, Create a Google contact form. Okay. Create a Google contact form. You can go through your Google Drive. It's called Google Forms. And you can actually create a form that just requesting their first, last name, email address, and their phone number. Simple. And what that does is it actually creates a list of a contact list of all of the people that you can market to once your physical brick and mortar or once your business opens. No point of you talking to people with word of mouth and just saying, hey, I'm going to start this business, or this is what I plan to do, when the people that you talk to are your potential clients, especially if they show interest in the conversation that you're giving them. So tell them, if this is something you're interested in and I see that we've had a really good conversation about it, how about I text you my link and I want you to fill it out right now, since we're right here. I want you to fill it out. And so once I have actually, launched my business, or I will actually send you, you can say this sounds more professional. You can say, this is how the conversation should go. I'm actually starting a bakery business where I'm actually selling a lot of, like, baked goods that you can actually, like, use for your office, or, you can use for a special occasion, whatever have you. I got some really good stuff. I'm actually going to do some samples really soon, and I plan on having like a little small launch really soon. So I want to invite you to it. Do you like sweets, like red velvet cake and all that good stuff? Okay, cool, girl. That's my thing. Okay. So with that being said, is it okay that I text you my contact form link? I want to send it to you so that way I can invite you to my little gathering and you can give me some feedback on what you think about my products. Is that cool? So just having a casual conversation with somebody that you are, like, doing word of mouth, I want you to create a contact form, right? And this is just doing this on the basic, simplest level. Create a contact form where you can start gaining, like, collecting and the contact information of the people that you are speaking to about your idea. And then once the grand opening, or once you have a date on when you are, like, launching everything, you can invite them to the launch. Okay. That also shows traction. Okay. You can say, we've been doing word of mouth marketing since we started. We started our business at the beginning of 2025 because of due to funding. We weren't able to physically actually, open up the physical brick and mortar, or because of funding, we weren't able to do certain things. However, we have still been marketing word of mouth, which is the greatest form of marketing in our eyes. We've been able to speak to and network and market to people, to over 300 people since starting and launching this business in 2025. Right. So that shows growth, that shows traction. That's not really showing revenue growth. Of course, you haven't generated revenue, but at least you have actually started a contact list so you can be organized and reach out to those potential people that you have been speaking to. All right. Um, yeah. Okay. So cool. I hope you guys take that gem and run away with it. All right. It's free gems. Yeah. All right. What else? So, how have you measured your success so far in this $150,000 Zoom grant opportunity? They want you to include your revenue growth if you have customer milestones. So, customer milestones would also be, you have started a customer has came to you, they purchased one of your products, and let's say they fell in love with the product and they decided to join your subscription so that way they can consistently get your product on a monthly basis. Let's say another customer milestone could be, you started out with 5 customers, and then now in your first 6 months of operations, you now have 500 clients or 300 clients. Okay. So partnerships. Do you have any partnerships? All this networking you've been doing, has anybody actually decided to do some collaborations with you, whether it's social media, or anybody who has, like, another product or service that's kind of in line with the same business that you do? So let's say you do taxes, but somebody does credit repair. Have you actually done partnerships with that credit repair company and you actually do taxes, and you've been able to get, let's say, at least 20 clients from them? Right. So what does that partnership look like? Explain that. and any other metrics that you might have. So they want to know that. Question number 5. It says, what impact does your business have beyond profit? So now they want to know, how impactful is your business without, like, beyond making money? So they want to know how impactful you are to your community. Are you culturally impactful or industry impactful? Okay. Um, let's say you have a trucking company, and the whole purpose of you getting into the trucking industry is not just because you want to make money, okay, friend, but you also plan to create some sort of digital platform that will make communication between load boards and, trucking companies like yourself more effective and efficient, right? So that's industry impact. Cultural impact would be something more of, we are the first Native American or Black owned business in our local area that actually sell these types of products that are, all about Black History Month, right? Or all about Black history, right? Community impact. Like my client here, of course, she is serving her community. She's serving persons who are seniors, have chronic illnesses, and also their families. So she's taking off the hassle and providing an adult daycare service, which is going to be a safe place that they can leave their parents or their loved ones, and they can go on about their lives, right? So yeah, number 6. How do you use Zoom or other digital tools to collaborate, create, or scale your business? So they want to know, have you ever used a Zoom platform or any other digital tools to collaborate, create, or scale your business? Zoom is a virtual, like a virtual meeting. So if you use Zoom a lot, especially if you are a consulting business, then you can tell them how you use Zoom all the time. If you use other platforms like, MailChimp to market, do email marketing, all that good stuff, you want to specify that as well. Last but not least, what's one lesson or piece of advice you'd share with other solopreneurs? What's some advice that you would actually share with other entrepreneurs based off of the experience that you already have? They want to know that. This is just 7 questions that you would answer. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay. They want the max is 200 words each, but it's only 7 questions for this particular grant opportunity, and then you can submit it. Okay. So I just wanted you guys to know about what that looks like. Now, it does says, if you make it to the second and final round, you will be asked to submit a 1-minute video introduction. So tell us who you are, what you do, and what drives you. So go ahead and create that 1-minute video pitch. Okay. All right. So any questions? I want you to drop any questions, concerns, or curiosities in the chat about small business grants, what this world looks like, why, whatever questions you have, I want you to drop them in the chat for me. Okay. All right. And I'm going to submit this grant for our friend while I do that. Perfect. And okay, yes. Uh, mm, and when do they plan to? Okay. No questions. Hopefully, you guys, your questions have been answered and you've gotten some really good gems. By Q2 2026. I screenshot the final, like the submission, and I put it in an email so I can send it to you guys to let you know that I've actually submitted the grant for you. So that one is done. Awesome. All right, so let's see what questions you guys have, and I'm gonna let you go for your beautiful weekend. Okay. So let me see. Let me go ahead and answer your questions. Okay, man. Is there a time frame on receiving a grant, and how much is the least and what's the most? So Tosh, thank you so much for joining in. I love that you are sharing your time with me. Thank you so much. So to answer your question, each grant has their own grant timeline. This $150,000 grant opportunity that's sponsored by Zoom. Well, actually, they won't tell you if you were selected and announce the winners until Q2 2026. So the application deadline date is February 18th. And then after February 18th, they're going to take the rest of Q1 to go through all the applications and to choose the best winner. 50 winners is how many they're choosing, I believe. And the top five will actually receive the $150,000 each. So, with that being said, you won't be notified until Q2. Now, which month specifically, we don't know. Each grant on the grant introductory page, it will tell you when they are actually going to tell you or announce the winners or reach out to you all. Okay. So there's no like set timeline. Like for example, with loans, you pretty much know if you submit a application for a credit card or a loan, they're either instantly going to tell you yes or no, or they'll give you 7 to 10 business days. That's not how this works. With small business grants, you have to give them time. They have their own timeline, each grant. Okay. And the least amount, a micro grant can start at $200, and the most you can get a grant for like $100 million. Okay, so grants can get really big. And those multi-million dollar grants, you have to be established. You have to be an organization. You have to show traction. You have to already be like, you got to be well established. Like my client right now, we going for like almost like $2 million. And he owns two clinics, right, based out of like South Florida, but he's been in business since 1993. He's well established. He's well deserving. You understand? So yeah, like he got awards from his local like town of being the best medical doctor. This like he has accolades. Okay. Ben says, yeah, I'm definitely going to need your help. Glory be to God. I'm here to help you out. You can always book a $50 consultation with me, or you can ask any questions. Okay. I want to get with you on the $37 submissions you do. Okay, that's awesome. I'll put my information in the chat. I'm training to become a peer recovery specialist in arms worker certification. God bless you. You're asking me, how is the shea butter over here in West Africa? Natural. 100% natural. Everything's 100% natural. Um, everything. Actually, my mother-in-law, she just left, but she earlier today she went to the market and bought me lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, all kind of stuff, and I love it. I will be making a lot of fruit juice this evening. Yeah, we can do a consultation and a submission. Okay, awesome. I'm going to put my information here in the chat. Just give me a moment here. It's your business organically. Glory be to God. I give all glory to God. You understand? Because I wouldn't have been here without Jesus, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have been here without Jesus. I promise you. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I'm trying to get there so I can put my information in the chat, and then you guys can go on about your day. All right, so yes, I'm doing a Grantfully sale. So you can text hashtag Grantfully to 855 731 1487. Okay. You can text, I just put it in the chat for you. So you can screenshot it really quick and you can always text me. I will send you the direct link to pay the $37. Once you go on there, you'll choose the grant that you want me to apply to. You'll see it, it's a drop down. And then I will use your email to send a Google form that I need for you to complete. I need the business name, email address, phone number, address, all that good stuff. Once I have gotten the general information through the grant form that you have submitted, then I will go ahead and apply to the grant ASAP. So the sooner I get that information, the sooner I can submit this grant for you for just $37. Okay, affordable grant writing is what I'm offering. I'm doing that simply because I have a passion for showing you guys like how there is free funding opportunities out here and you don't have to always rely on like debts. Why start your business out in debt when you can go for a small business grant? You understand? And the persons who are not experiencing wins is simply because you're not going for grants that actually serve in your favor. You're just going off of grants that you find on social media or that your favorite business person is telling you about. Some of y'all are actually getting finessed and scammed. So you got to know like what's the difference between certain things. Okay. Um, you got to know like what you're doing with this grant thing. And then if you want to have a consultation with me, the link is also down below in the description, but I'll also text you the link as well. Just let me know in the text message, okay? Let me see. I can't even settings. There we go. Let me update my link. Okay. And yeah, I'm just updating some stuff. Any last minute questions? Any hope for that Let's Go collab? Yeah, actually, I've actually been the one putting it off. The time that we were supposed to collaborate, I was doing some traveling. He had things going on himself. Then also, it's like our schedules. We got to get it together. Also, oh yeah, and another time I felt very sick. So yeah, it's whenever the Lord is ready. You understand? Sometimes for you, logically, it's like, oh, you should do a collaboration with so and so, but I don't know. That might not be what God wants for real. I don't know who that person truly is in spirit. You understand? So, not saying anything about Let's Go, but I don't know him personally, and I don't know, what that looks like as far as in his spirituality. You understand? So maybe we're not truly aligned. It sounds good, but yeah. And then the collab for like it makes sense, yeah, but it logically, but it also doesn't. It also doesn't. So I don't put pressure on it at all. That would be genius. That would be genius. That collaboration. Yeah. It's all up to God. You understand? It's all up to the Lord. It's all up to the Lord. God forbid I do a collaboration with somebody that it makes sense because they go viral or they're consistent or they have experience in doing this and then they're on the Epstein files. I'm very, very particular. I'm very particular about who I do collaborations with. That's why you guys really don't see me do collaborations with certain influencers or people because their spirits don't be right. Mm-mm. Don't be right. They be scamming people. They do all kind of stuff, and yeah, I just don't want to be a part of that. I one time when I was doing credit repair, I did a like a collaboration with somebody, and then come to find out, she actually went to jail for fraud, credit repair or fraud or whatever. And so I took that video down, and I have not been able to trust people since. So yeah, it's nothing against Let's Go. Like I said, personally, it's nothing against him. I don't know him personally at all, but it's just like I go off of God's timing, not my own logic timing. I can literally, sometimes what happens, I can think logically in my mind, oh, I should post a video about this, and I think that it will go. I think it will go. I think it will go like viral because like people are talking about this and it's a trending topic or whatever, right? Me, I will post the video and it won't go nowhere. It won't even go over 23 views. Wasn't for me. Wasn't my time. That I'm not in that world. I don't live for the world. So it's not. That wasn't for me. I'm very intentional about what I do, and I think we're doing okay over here. You're more than welcome, of course. Subscribe to Let's Go. Subscribe to other influencers if they're giving you dropping gems and they're helping you out. Yeah, why not? You understand? But we don't have to collaborate for what. You can literally watch them and watch me at your own leisure. But I've had that happen before. Leaning, God said, don't lean on your own understanding. I just don't. I just obey. Man, it be your own people scamming you too. Just sad. Crazy thing is, this lady was not a Black American. She was not a Black American. Yep. She was not a Black American. So, I wish us in the Black American, happy Black History Month, everybody, but I wish a lot of us in the Black community, something I know about us as Black people, no matter where we are from in the world, whether it's here in Africa or is being Black American or from the West Indies, like your Caribbean, we always are in a survival state of mind. What that means is our race, just like every other race, because you have Lebanese that steal from Lebanese, you have, you know, Jewish people taken from other Jewish people, you have the Asians, they go through their own things, Chinese people go through their own things as well. Every ethnic group has their own challenges and they experience these things. It's the mindset of people and it's a certain type of spirit that they carry. All right. And as far as in us as a Black community, Black American community specifically, um, I think it's more of like lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of knowledge. And lack of knowledge is more than just, oh, okay, we got all of this social media and we have all of these apps and stuff that you can gain and you can like, why, how would you have lack of knowledge? No, a lot of us are not teaching principles and morals that would allow us to have a certain character about ourselves to not hurt each other. Lack of knowledge. It's what you entertain. What you entertain is the outcome. Okay. So, not giving us an excuse, but just saying one day at a time. And there's always a way that we can actually help each other. All right. Instead of judging each other. All right. Cool. And one way that I'm doing that is coming on live every day, Monday through Saturday, talking about small business grants and introducing you guys about to this free gems and free information. So that way you can have this information and hopefully spread it out to others, or you yourself take advantage of it and have an experience on your own with, gaining small business grants and getting free funding that you don't have to pay back. Right. So, I'm sharing those gifts that God blessed me with, and I'm hoping that you guys do the same. Okay. Awesome. Yep. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go for the day. I really do appreciate you joining me and being with me for this short period of time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys on Monday and we'll just pick up. Okay. I think next week I want to talk more about business strategies, what that looks like, and how important it is. We've been talking about grants. I'll still talk about grants small, but let's talk more about business strategies and what that looks like. Okay. So next week, make sure you tune in, turn on push notifications, and I'll see you guys later. Okay. Bye bye for now.